Today on City Wrestling Radio, Ronda Rousey comments on WWE and Vince McMahon. Could Nigel McGuinness be returning to the ring? And the road to WrestleMania is heating up as The Rock makes his surprise return to Raw. All that and so much more this week on City Wrestling Radio. Welcome back to City Wrestling Radio. It is March 27th, 2024. I'm your host, Corey Smith, being joined, as always, by my co-host, the fabulous wonder from Down Under. And that by that, I mean Daly City? No, near Daly City. Near in southern San Francisco.
Anyway. Southern-ish, yeah.
Mr. Jose Oseguera, how are you today?
Not so well.
Oh, no. What's going on?
My Rock predictions have been dispelled. He is not going to be joining forces with Cody. He's not going to be the reason why Cody finishes the story. Or will he?
Will he be? I mean, I don't know.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good on Raw. I mean, Cody definitely gigged on Raw. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
That was a big gig job. But you know, I have some doubts. I still have some doubts about that, about what's happening going into that. But before we get into the Raw, before we talk about Monday Night Raw this week, I want to get into a few other things. I'm going to start the show off with some other stuff that I saw floating around the news, but at least before Monday night, that I want to talk about. So
yeah, let's go. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So if you have you this Ronda Rousey, I'm kidding. Ronda Rousey, she came out recently and kind of made a lot of comments about WWE, spoke about her disdain for Vince McMahon after leaving WWE. She spoke with Cage Side Seats that her frustrations with the company stemmed from the women's roster not being given the same amount of screen prep time that the men are getting, which is totally like, I hear you, because it showed on TV, you know. You have things like the Bloodline were able to plan out years ahead of time, she says, and you know, they wouldn't even talk to her until she got to the arena about her matches. Right. So Ronda went on to say that she began to feel she was just doing custom matches for a quote unquote fucking sicko in the back, she says. She went on to say, I just didn't want to be Vince's fucking figure anymore. I felt like I was doing custom matches for a quote fucking sicko in the back. All power to the girls that can keep fighting the good fight, but I'm in my mid-30s now and I've got shit to do. I feel her. I feel her on that. I'm in my mid-30s. I got shit to do too. Like, I don't mess around.
We all got shit to do. Sorry.
So the one thing I wanted to say about Ronda Rousey is she's one of those people that, like, these comments that she's making, 100% agree with her. Still don't agree with her as a person. You know what I mean? The Sandy Hook denying stuff,
especially,
you know, some of the other stuff out there. It's just never enjoyed her character, but she's absolutely right, and I agree with her 100% on this.
Okay, yeah, I have a similar opinion. The only difference is she's coming off very Ronda Ryback.
Yeah,
she had chances to speak on a lot of this Vince McMahon stuff before he got into trouble. She waited until after he got into trouble to start talking. So, all right. And also, to be fair, she, all due respect to the women, but a lot of the men weren't being told what to do months in advance. Bloodline was an exclusive type of thing. I'm sure, Ricochet has a couple words behind that. I'm sure Mustafa Ali has a couple words about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Jinder as the champion would have a couple words to say about that. You know, he's about to go to India as the champion. All of a sudden, they took the title off him.
Yeah, what?
Oh my god! And that was around the time she came to WWE. You know what I mean? Luckily, I mean, yeah. Anyways, Ronda also reiterated comments she made about Bruce Pritchard saying, serving as quote Vince's avatar when he had supposedly retired from the company. Ronda said, Vince McMahon was never gone while I was there. He was just phoning it in through Bruce Pritchard. My agent who works at Endeavor, he was telling me, he's completely gone now, I swear. And I'm like, I believe it when I see it because everyone said he left before. He never left. He was there by text messages. So it just kind of hammers down everything we thought about when Vince was stepping away for a while.
Totally.
Later in the interview, Ronda discussed not having a singles match with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania and what she said the company regarding her final storylines. She said, WWE refused to work with me at all. They refused to collaborate. They didn't want to talk to me about it. They kept pushing it off until it finally got to the road to WrestleMania. And they were like, yeah, we're not going to do you and Becky. So
70% of the talent. You're not the only one.
Yeah. She continued. She says, I'm like, all right, well, then I'm fucking leaving unless me and Shayna can tag. If you guys don't want to work with me, you don't want to do something extraordinary. You just want to do good enough every single night. Good enough. Like, just good enough every single night. I came here to have fun with my friend when she came here to have fun with her friends. So I will say this. I agree with you. She is coming off Ronda Ryback-ish. And by God, that is a trademark of City Wrestling Radio now. Ronda Ryback. We're making those shirts. That'll be our first top seller. Because everything she says at first, she's like talking shit on Vince, how he's a sicko and da-da-da. Yeah, okay, I agree. Absolutely, 100%. But the way she's coming across is kind of like, I was ready to be the next top guy there. And, Vince McMahon just didn't want to push me any further. And I'm like, fuck this, I'm out because I'm top shit.
Yeah, I could do extraordinary things. Nobody wanted to do extraordinary shit with me. Come on.
So I'm going to go tag with my homegirl, Shayna. We're going to win the tag titles and the NXT tag titles. Win them all. So, I mean, Ronda Ryback, she's at it again. Regarding her decision to leave WWE, she says she told Triple H she just couldn't be associated with mediocrity anymore. So she said, I had a long sit down with Triple H and I was like, I can't be associated with mediocrity. And that's what it seemed to. Okay. And that's what they seem to be happy with all the time. And I hope that it's different now, but I can't say that I ever experienced it any other way. So she did go on to talk, good things about Triple H. She said Triple H has always been great towards the women in the company and really believing in us. He's the whole reason that I was there because he believed in me. I really wish my last run was under Triple H and not under Vince McMahon. So
okay, so you know what she did there? She repaired a bridge that was burning.
She said, "Oh fuck, brother, I could have a return to WWE and have that great, extraordinary, great one in a lifetime, the best WrestleMania match ever with my champion, and I'm definitely going to win the Universal title off of Becky.
I'll take it off of the Bloodline. I'll join the Bloodline. I'll be the Bloodline by myself."
Yeah. I'm sure they would let her. I'm sure the Roman would be like, dude, take it. I don't want to fuck with you, Ronda.
Just go.
Because Ronda to me comes across like that one chick you just don't want to mess with in a Safeway line. You know what I mean? Or a grocery store line.
Yeah.
Like, did you just fucking cut me?
No.
I thought there was two. There's one line for two registers. Get in line. And you're like,
but you have 15 items though.
Yeah, it's the pick your battles thing. You're like, okay, I'm gonna get in the back. So for Ronda Rousey, I mean, whatever. She's got a book coming out, so I don't know. It seems to me that promote. So I agree with her 100%, like I said. But
yeah. I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah, no, she's not.
But she's not an exclusive. She's not exclusive to the situation. Let's say that.
No. She's not a Cody Rhodes too, so she's got to remember that too. She's not Roman Reigns. Yeah. She's not. You know what I mean? She's not a Becky Lynch. She's not a Charlotte Flair. Like, let's be honest here. Like, yeah, I know she was a top star in the women's division in UFC for the longest time, one of the most notable names in the company. But I mean, Michael Jordan went to baseball and he was shit. Not saying that she was shit. I'm just saying Michael Jordan was shit in baseball. You take it as you will.
Yeah. She did need some character development. Let's just, call a spade a spade.
I was the one that turned her heel. It was.
Really?
It was me. When I was at Survivor Series 2017, it was like the night that she came out all smiling. Everyone booed her.
Yes.
and she was leaving. She looked so pissed, and she looked right in my direction, and she just saw me screaming with a hoodie on, probably my eyes red and glazed, and she's just like, I'm gonna kick that guy's ass one day. He's gonna my motivation for my heel turn. Ronda right back out.
She used you as she has your picture on her mirror that she
No,
crushes every night.
It's on her punching bag. She's just
oh my god.
I'm saying no, she literally did look in my direction, and it scared me because I was booing, and I was like, oh, wasn't me. Yay, Rhonda. We love you.
She's one judo toss from breaking your ankles. Separate shoulder. Ooh.
She's the type of woman who's going to get into a fight with like a 56-year-old man at a gas station and accidentally judo throw him and break his hip. You know what I mean?
Throw him into the
or like a 75-year-old man or whatever. Yeah. But
throw him into the pumps.
Yeah. And then she would have to go to court, and it would be this whole thing.
Yeah.
I've already played it out in my head. Anyways, let's continue on with some more news about WWE.
No more fun with Ronda.
Yeah. No more fun. No fun with Ronda. We'll put Ronda right back away for now. WWE's actually, they came out with a new policy regarding consensual relationships in the workplace. On Tuesday, on Tuesday, Brandon Thurston and John Pollock published a 3-page document detailing the company's stance on romantic or intimate relationships in the workplace. The policies was developed in June of 2023 while Vince McMahon served as WWE's executive chairman. It reads, quote, and this is just the first paragraph. The whole thing's pretty long. I'm not going to get into it all, but I feel like we get a lot from the first paragraph. So
meat and potatoes.
It says to promote a productive environment free from conflicts as well as favoritism and unfair advantage, whether perceived or real, WWE has implemented the following policy and guidelines related to consensual relationships in the workplace. The policy applies to all employees, regardless of rank or title. So when I first read that, I think, okay, this is probably more of something. I don't know if it's something that's going to per se affect the wrestlers because they're not employees.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And right. I think this might be more of somebody who would have power over somebody else. You know, this could be maybe somebody who is in charge of a
member of the board.
A member of the board who has the power to put them on Raw or, you know, give them a job or they are their boss. Yes. So this is what that seems like. Post Wrestling spoke with Dr. Lisa Monero. That's what I'm going to go with. Professor of Management at Fairfield University about the policy. Monero has authored several books related to gender and power dynamics in professional settings. She says WWE's policy does not go far enough. She says, quote, this is an, quote, okay policy, better than most, but certainly still inadequate. She said after reviewing the document, however, WWE did not address the issue for hierarchical. I am not a good reader. Hierarchical relationships. Wow, we're really showing our schooling levels here, aren't we?
Yeah, we need to go back to city college.
Where one person, when you can't say the word, go back to City College of San Francisco for your degree to say. Where one person in the relationship is subordinate and the other, which is certainly a conflict of interest. So apparently it doesn't even address that kind of like stuff, but it is saying that these relationships do need to be made public to the company in writing. It can't just be like, hey, me and Janice are dating or, you know, whatever. So, I mean,
dear boss, I've asked Becky Lynch to marry me.
But like, is you can't like reward a dog for like not pissing on the bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel here. Like this is something that should have been implemented a long time ago.
Oh no, you don't want to handcuff yourself.
What's up?
So no, you don't want to handcuff yourself.
No. Well, I know, right, Vince? But it's something to me. It's like, okay, cool. Like at least, sure, cool.
You
That's
need
all.
to have, you need to have something on paper. We all know pro wrestling is very incestuous. There's hardly anything you can do
Hopefully
about,
not in a romantic relationship type of way, but
yes. Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
but there was Paul Burchill and Katie Burchill, and we can go back.
We don't. I blocked that from my memory. But talent dates talent. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
They all pretty much live together on top of each other. Not like that. Don't be gross.
Well,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully this will protect any female or male employees, or but any of the employees, non-binary included, that work for WWE. But I don't know why. I feel like WWE probably wouldn't be that great of an environment for somebody working there that's non-binary. I get that feeling like they wouldn't be open to having someone working there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure
that's going too far, but
yeah, no, I'm sure they have a don't ask, don't tell type of policy.
Yeah. They're like, don't ask him what he did this weekend.
Because Vince will tell you.
Apparently so. Apparently he'll show you pictures too. That fucking weirdo. Anyways, one guy who's not a fucking weirdo. Well, I mean, I guess he can be, but not like
we don't know for sure.
We don't know. We don't. Never met the guy. He did perform in Alameda before AEW went to Oakland one time. Comedy show. Didn't go to it, but I wish I did.
Okay.
Nigel McGuinness says recently he got back in the ring. The 48-year-old hasn't wrestled since 2011. He debuted as a commentator for Ring of Honor later that year and now works as AEW commentator, where he can frequently be heard making derogatory comments about one Bryan Danielson on Saturday nights. McGuinness appeared as a guest on Wrestling Weekly recently, and while discussing his attitude toward Danielson, mentioning that he got back inside the ring again and felt perfectly okay. McGuinness says, all the time that I was in WWE, how difficult was it for me? And I think a lot of the, I don't want to say the jealousy and bitterness, but those sort of emotions that certainly existed between me and Bryan and the success he's had. When I was, well, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard because you look at that and you're like, think about like the one, you know what I mean? It's kind of like if there was another podcast from City College of San Francisco and then all of a sudden like a wrestling podcast, because I'm sure there's another podcast, but and then they're like getting they're now getting picked up by like the official AEW podcast.
Hey,
I'd be like, well, what about me?
Yeah, I turned into a hater too.
We have 500 episodes. So he says, when I was in WWE, seeing so many of my peers coming up and having that level of success and that level of fame and fortune was difficult for me. Certainly that sort of accept, especially when I could still wrestle today. I got in the ring last week and I felt perfectly okay. Sometimes people say it's a lot easier if you choose to quit yourself. And I don't think that's the case. So he said, he also went on to say, given my history in terms of concussions and various other things, I do watch a lot of matches and go, I can't do that anymore. So
okay, make up your mind. Which one is it? Do you feel good or you go, oh, no, I don't know.
But at this point, like they keep like hinting at this Nigel McGuinness, Bryan Danielson feud. And with Bryan Danielson on his way out, I mean, it's certainly like their time to book this match is getting slim to nil. Do you think we could see Nigel return to the ring anytime soon?
It's possible. I mean, it looks like he's either pushing the story, dropping some seeds, or he's begging to get in the ring. It's one or the other.
Yeah. It's kind of like, that's perfectly okay, Tony. You heard that? You heard that, Corn? And yeah, he's so maybe it is like that. Maybe he's trying to, I don't want to say manifest destiny, but kind of
putting it out into the universe.
the 2020 way of saying manifest destiny. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I hope we see Nigel in the ring. I'm not super familiar with Nigel's former work in Ring of Honor.
I have no idea.
Didn't watch a lot of Ring of Honor ever. So I think I've seen a few episodes of Ring of Honor, but it was like when I was watching on like watchwrestling.in.
Yeah, it wasn't available on our local channels. Channel 26 KTSF didn't run it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Funny story. KTSF used to run a lot of NWO shows, NWA shows back in the day.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Am I coming in clear? You can hear me, right?
Oh, I hear you fine.
Okay. Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right. So, well, Nigel back in maybe, who knows? We'll see. But what we do know, let's get into Monday Night Raw from this week. We started the show off with a Cody Rhodes promo. He came out to the ring cutting a promo on The Rock, the Bloodline. Absolute banger of a promo. Eventually, The Rock came out, stood there for about 5 minutes.
It felt like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Was it not 5 minutes?
Well, you know what? It was 5 minutes in total, and maybe even 10 minutes in total. I remember I went back to watch, and I did the jump. You know, on Xfinity, when you do the jump, it jumps 5 minutes. Yeah. I think I did it 2 or 3 times before I got into The Rock actually getting in there.
Well, yeah, him coming out, and his theme song is like changing every single week. It's like a new something to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he's the final boss, The Rock,
which is pretty cool. I kind of dig that.
Yeah, it's an evolution of his character. You know, he's listening to our podcast. I said, you know, he's got that people got to evolve their character. They can't just do their shtick, you know, like Mercedes. But The Rock came out there, stood there for what felt like 5 minutes, facing off with Cody. Then he put his hands behind his back, leaned in, and whispered something to Cody that, well, we didn't hear, but a lot of people are saying The Rock whispered, "Tonight, I'm gonna make you bleed." Or I'm gonna make you bleed tonight.
I couldn't make anything out of it. Like Bully Ray said something too on his Busted Open podcast. Don't listen to them, listen to us. But he said something completely different, and I couldn't make it out either way. I doubt he even said anything at all.
I will give it to the Busted Open radio show or the podcast or whatever, because they do a wrestling morning show. And that is like the one thing. Like, if I can get paid to do a wrestling morning show and produce something, you know what I mean? Oh, so great. Just every day, just like go in from like 5 to 10 a.m. and just like have a producer bring you pre-written scripts. And like, what do we got here? Who's our guest? The Rock? Okay. Rocky. How's it going?
Yeah. Ooh, goals. Anyways. Let's manifest that.
Yeah.
Put 'em on vision board.
I mean, we can take over for Tommy Dreamer and Bubba or Bully Ray.
Yeah, you know, Mark Henry, as much as I love him, you know, he
can stay. He has
show. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Then The Rock did leave to a chorus of boos. Jackie Raymond caught up with The Rock backstage and asked him what he said in the ring, and he said, "Go ask Cody." So we never got a definite answer, but hey. You know,
did you catch the 15,000 references to AEW and All In that Cody has made during this promo?
No. I mean, I was paying attention, but I guess it just went over my head.
Right. So the one reference he did where he's talking about making promises and accomplishing those promises, that's something that Chicago knows I'm ready, available to do, and I have done. Talking about All In.
Yes.
And also the kiss and the bullet.
He's been doing that a lot lately.
He has. But I love the shouts out. I love that they let him get away with it. You know, forbidden doors cracked.
Okay, you know what? No, it proves one thing, and it proves that there's a hidden society of wrestlers. There's a secret group. They all go to what's that place, the Grove? What do you call it? Up in
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, it's like the Bohemian Grove of wrestling. You know, they all go up there, minus like the weird sex stuff they probably do. You know, they go somewhere and they all like go to. You know what it is? It's probably at Rivera Steakhouse. That's where it is.
That will make so much sense.
That makes sense now because no, honestly, I don't think there's like some sort of like secret like society of like people trying to put other people over. But I do think there's some sort of like, hey, we're brothers. Like, we're in this group together. Like, I think there actually are stables that transcend companies within wrestling. And I think Bullet Club,
the Click has done that for years.
And I think this is all coming from the Click.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because of the Click.
It has roots there. Yeah, it has roots there. They asked specifically permission to use the Too Sweet.
Yeah. So, I mean, even now, but now Cody working with Triple H,
a founder of the Click.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, it just doubled down on that for me. But no, he wrestling WWE is just not what it used to be. So like we're gonna get these comments of, well, I was here, I made promises in Chicago. You guys remember that 10,000 people, huh?
The 8 minutes. What was it? I forget how long it took him to sell those tickets, but yeah.
Even there was a scene where like him and Nick Aldis come face to face. And the camera kind of stood there for a moment, and it was kind of like, oh, like, remember us wrestling at All In? We wrestled here before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good on them. Tony and AEW has been doing it for a while, just building off the other storylines. Why not let WWE build off the AEW storylines?
Yeah, take a little nod and a wink. That's why what's his name went to Misty's.
What? Misty's?
Okay, I don't know if you saw Drew McIntyre over the weekend.
Oh, Mindy's.
Yeah. He stopped by the little bakery there.
Yeah. I want to go to Mindy's now. I feel like every wrestling fan wants to go to Mindy's.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Ricochet defeating JD McDonough with Dominic Mysterio in his corner in about 14 minutes and 23 seconds. This was an absolute banger of a match. Ricochet hitting McDonough with a shooting star press and the eventual pinfall after Dominic Mysterio was ejected. What are they doing with Ricochet? Like, why is he going through the Judgment Day all of a sudden? I still don't get this.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking that they're looking for talent that could work with him in a way that he can optimize his work rate. Yeah. And JD is one of those talents. Maybe not so much Dominic, he's still in the learning process, right? So they're looking for the best athletes to, I think, counter program Will Ospreay.
I mean, like if anyone can counter program Will Ospreay, it'll be someone who like
has experience with him. Yeah.
Rewind back to 2012, 2013 with that match with him and Will Ospreay and Ricochet, where is the actual like the choreographed, Vader got so mad about match.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the other half of it. So
yeah, readily available on YouTube, by the way, if you guys want to go and check it out.
And next.
Oh God. Oh God.
Who would have thought we would be groaning right now? CM Punk segment. CM Punk. What? We've grown a lot for CM Punk. CM Punk with Drew McIntyre and Seth, and just a lot of time to kill.
A lot of time to kill. And talk about going into business for yourself. The picture in the dictionary is this guy.
Oh God. Well, so CM Punk came out to the ring and, he's saying, he wants to be a part of WrestleMania, but I wonder, he mentioned something like, oh, I wonder if there's a match I could be an impartial ref to, but anyways, I'm going to be a commentator. You know what I mean? And it's like, they're like, no, we want ref, be a ref. And, yeah, so it's just like, it's like they were building up something that, they couldn't even deliver on,
Yeah, and I think even Seth tried to put the squash on that. He was like, well, he doesn't have a counting hand. And he was like, oh, look at me do a lefty.
Yeah. So CM Punk's coming out. He's just like, hey, man, I want to be a part of WrestleMania. What can I do? Is there a match I can be a ref for? What can I do? Can I be a timekeeper? Can I do this? Can I do that? And that's what provoked Drew McIntyre to come out. And, they had a lot of back and forth, which seemed very unscripted. Like,
yeah, very. Oh, the line where he's like, my mouth still works. Just ask April.
Yeah, exactly. And then, Drew, he goes, look at this shirt I have on. And then Punk, I've never had to have another man's name on my shirt to ever sell it.
Oh, and it sucks because he revealed another shirt that had his name on it too. Oh no. Damn it, Punk. What are you doing?
You're
killing all the heat.
Drew's like, I'm just going to take this one off too. I'm just going to, here you go, Michael Cole. You can have it. So, Drew's out there. He's ringside. They're going back and forth. And then Seth Rollins comes out. And I do kind of appreciate CM Punk for being real. Like, he's just like hitting himself in the head with the microphone, like softly, like, God damn it. I don't want to deal with these guys right now. That's when, Seth came out and, he says like, oh, you can't be a referee. He hurt his counting arm. And some reason, Punk's like, no, like I can count my other hand. 1, 2, 3.
Says,
But
Punk, you're not going to be a ref. Why are
you know
you
what it
selling
is?
the fans on this?
I think it's just Punk. Nobody could ever tell Punk what to do. Like, and I feel like he thought Seth was like telling him what to do. And he's like, that's not why I could do it. I can't do it because I can't like be impartial to you, like assholes, or what do you say, jack-offs or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Drew had the line about PG, Punk, keep it PG.
Yeah.
But it felt like
when McIntyre came down the ring and he was like, "Are you in a kilt or in a skirt?" He was like, "Oh, watch it, Punk. 2024, you could get canceled."
It could get counts. I do love the new Drew McIntyre.
I love him.
Yeah, he's real. Like he's just making jokes at everything. He's not even a heel. Like he's super funny. Like he's just on Instagram all the time ripping on CM Punk. Like,
dude, he's the WWE version of being the elite.
Like he literally was outside a stadium leaving, and the people are booing him. And he goes, "Are they saying boo or boo earns?" And I was like, "I love this guy. I love this guy so much. He's a Simpsons fan." Yes,
and his shirts are really cool.
Yeah, I would definitely never buy the Savior of WrestleMania shirt.
No, but I would buy that DM and Hunk.
Oh, is it the one where he's pointing at the grave?
No. That one's the one where it's like the CM Punk shirt.
That's fine. Yeah,
and then it's like a NWO style spray paint on top of it that says DM Hunk.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. So I mean, it felt like the segment went on for about 45 minutes.
It did.
But it was only about like 20. So
it was fun, but it was fun but cringe. Am I kind of explaining it right?
No, definitely. 1, 2. And the thing is that there's one thing about this stuff is that there's so much talking nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting back to that point. Even my girlfriend was like, every time you are watching wrestling, it's always just Cody Rhodes talking. She goes, when are they going to wrestle? And I was like,
yeah.
They will. Don't worry, they will. Given she's walking in like right when I start watching.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely different than like different feel. Like if someone's watching this and they're watching AEW, like like the stark contrast of like a show with all wrestling versus this is mostly promos.
Yeah, no, AEW starts right on with a match.
Yeah,
no hubbub, no fluff. Let's get on with the match.
Well, it's funny that you say that because that segment that we had before went so long that a couple of these matches had to just start. Like Candice LeRae and Ivy Nile, they were already in the ring.
Andrade was in the ring.
Andrade was in the ring. Yeah. We have a Shinsuke Nakamura promo on Jey Uso. Apparently, Meek Mill will be at WrestleMania.
Do not Google Meek Mill and Puff Daddy or Sean Combs. Do not.
Yeah, I made that mistake at work one time.
Mm-hmm.
Candice LeRae defeating Ivy Nile. Not going to talk about
it. No, this is a wrestling podcast.
Yeah. I feel like with Vince McMahon, we already talked too much about sexual allegations and things.
We're totally leading people on. Okay, Candice LeRae's in the middle, turning heel. Do we think Indy Hartwell is going to follow along with her?
Probably not.
I'm thinking yes. I think they're swerving us right now. Her reaction was so extreme when Candice tried to raise her arm.
Yeah,
she just smacked her arm out of the way. It just tells me that they're going to pull a left turn on us.
Yeah, so in this match, they're doing this stupid thing where LeRae faked a leg injury again, and like the ref just stops Ivy from like going towards Candice, and it's just like, just stop the match. Just stop the match. If she's injured, stop the match. If she's not, why are you stopping her? And I know it's
you know who did a very similar thing? Special guest referee Kurt Hennig during the Lex Luger versus Yokozuna match. Coming soon to City Wrestling Radio.
He said, hold on, Lex, hold on.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Cornette, you need to move to the corner. Move to the corner, Cornette.
I do love Yokozuna.
Yeah.
I was watching some of that WrestleMania 10 coming to City Wrestling Radio later this week. And it's just, man, he was so cool. Although it's just funny how he comes out and he's totally like, he's Samoan. You know what I mean? Playing a Japanese guy. Or was he playing? He was playing Japanese guy. Yeah.
He's playing Yokozuna. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Yokozuna is the name of a sumo wrestler, like
It's
Yokozuna. It's like a
Grand
title.
Champion. Grand
Yes.
Champion. Yeah.
So like I guess a Samoan person can be a Yokozuna,
I think it has been.
and like they never said like, and I mean, yeah, he came out with the Japanese flag behind him, so
Mhm.
sure, but we can assume that like, hey, this is the country I live in now.
Okay, now I have to listen to Vince when he's talking. The Japanese phenom. You
Yeah.
know he's gonna say something
Well,
like
he
that.
could still be a Japanese sensation if he sumo wrestles in Japan.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways. New Day and DIY backstage. They had a not so friendly exchange.
DX.
Oh, sorry, DX, not DX69 or something like that,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it's calling them.
Mhm.
So here's the thing though. They're having this thing with R-Truth and the Miz, DIY, and the New Day. They'll all be in that ladder match, but in the background, Drew McIntyre can be seen chatting with Paul Heyman.
Why is that?
Jose, as the Hurricane Helm says, what's up with that?
Yeah, I think it's to be seen later on because we'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
They were discussing, what's going to happen later on during the show.
Kobe Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa ended in a disqualification. They went through a break. Judgment Day interfered for the DQ. Not really much to say.
Yeah, but you know what this really feels like? Remember the one Raw? Oh, I should save it, but there's this one Raw that they call the greatest Raw ever, where I think it was during the invasion angle where every top star, every top guy came out and they all took turns whooping on each other. Yeah. I'm getting a feeling of that happening tonight.
Oh, you mean like that one where it's like Stone Cold comes out and stunners The Rock, Angle comes out and Olympic slam on Stone Cold,
yeah.
Taker comes out, choke slam on Angle. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I feel like they're teasing something like that with Judgment Day coming out on the 3 tag teams.
Yeah. Next up, Kathy Kelly interviewed Gunther about Sami Zayn. Gunther says, didn't have much to say about Zayn. He said Chicago was filled with schlubby nerds, just like Zayn, and even they didn't think Sami could win and against Bronson Reed tonight. So just continuing the story. Andrade defeating Giovanni Vinci in 7 minutes. This is supposed to be Andrade versus Ivar. And my notes for the whole match are gone, but I remember it being a good match. So
it was good, Andrade. I think they're building him up to be something special. I think they're going to break up Judgment Day, and we're going to have Dominic forming a new supergroup. And I think this is a linchpin to that supergroup.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. I think it's going to be some sort of group with Andrade, Dominic, and God, what's his name? Why am I forgetting it?
Santos Escobar.
Yes. I was gonna say a Fantasma. But no, I'm definitely thinking that could be because that could be a cool group, just like 3 like badass Latino dudes like ruling the roster, as opposed to like they have other groups like LWO and Legado.
I have a funny feeling that Dominic is gonna snatch LWO away from his dad.
You think so?
Create a new LWO, but I really hope they don't go that way because Eddie originally created that group.
Yeah,
Ray was Ray even in it?
Ray, he eventually got Ray into it, but he had to like defeat him in a match to force him to be a part of the group.
Right. Yeah. So it makes sense that Dominic would be like, no, you don't have rights to this group. I have rights to this group because Uncle Eddie did it, and I'm gonna do it the way he wants. That's the way I see it going. But I would much rather see them come up with something new.
Yeah, definitely. We have the Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch segment, which I'm glad we were just talking about Dominic because
this was ate one for breakfast.
Yeah, Becky came out to cut a promo. Ripley and Rhea and Dominic came out afterwards, and Dominic got into Becky's face, and man, oh man, Becky just let him have it. If you look, I put a picture of it on our Instagram. If you go check out our Instagram at City Wrestling Radio, you'll see like it's one of those slow motion punches, and she just gets him right in the jaw. I'm surprised he wasn't hurt or anything.
Cussed. Like that. Yeah.
or maybe had a fractured jaw because man,
he knew it was coming. He braced for it, but still,
yeah, but
his mouth was open too.
He wasn't like, go ahead and hit me now, Becky. Like,
No, dude, and his mouth was open. That hurts more.
So yeah, pretty cool segment.
Yeah.
Next up, Chad Gable spoke with Maxine Dupree in the back, but Sammy upon seeing them walked by. Gable told Zayn that Gunther was ruining his focus. Gable told him to get his head out of his ass and to focus on Bronson Reed. And Zayn appreciated the words, but shook his head and left. And then Sami Zayn loses to Bronson Reed in 9 minutes. Zayn went for a haluva kick, but hesitated again to look over at Gunther. Reed dropped him with a clothesline, senton, and a tsunami for the pinfall win. What? Like, what?
This accomplishes two things. It gives you doubt that Sammy's gonna win. Oh, multiple things. It establishes, like you said, Chad Gable as the mentor / coach. He has
Coach Gable.
Coach Gable. And it also does some making up for the absence of Bronson Reed in a lot of these events, like was it the Survivor Series?
Yeah. Oh,
Rumble. It was Rumble.
No, Elimination Chamber when he couldn't
Elimination Chamber. There you go. Because he had his baby or something, right?
Well, it wasn't because of that. I think it was.
It gave him a chance of. Yeah,
he was supposed to be Seth, and Seth got hurt, and then
right. Yeah, and then being absent at WrestleMania. Hopefully, it doesn't go into a 3-way. That'll suck. But this actually, Bronson got a little bit of a rub on here, so
yeah,
it did something. It wasn't just a nothing segment.
Well, it actually accomplishes a third thing too, and that's now if Sammy does win at Mania, it gives him a challenger afterwards.
Oh, right away, yeah, totally. I beat you once before, Sammy.
Yeah. And I do, after this, Zayn was pissed off letting Gunther get into his head. He wondered how he could let this happen. Gable told him that this is exactly what Gunther does. He planted the seeds of doubt. Gunther's game was mental, and he would beat you down until you gave into those doubts. And that's when Chad Gable offered a different approach to Sammy and offered his help for WrestleMania. Like, do you think
cue the Rocky music? That's what I think.
And I do like it because you could transform Sammy's whole character after this. And I'm not saying I want him to come out in a one piece wrestling suit.
Singlet.
I don't want him to come out in a singlet. I want him to come out like old Sami Zayn. He could leave his hair, maybe trim the beard a little bit, because he is looking a little bummy. You know what I mean? But if it's his religion, if it's because of his religion, I don't know his exact religion off the top of my head. I can't remember exactly what it was. So therefore, I don't know. But
this presentation is better than his really bummy revolutionary gimmick that he had going on before the Bloodline.
But it fit.
I guess you're right. But he's a different person.
He looked like a Che Guevara at that point. You know what I mean?
Right. But he's a different person now.
Yeah, but now he's like coming out in like sweatpants and a sweatshirt. And
no, don't do that.
He has. I want the Sami Zayn. I remember when Sami Zayn was first in NXT. I don't necessarily want the short hair back and the clean shaven baby face or the trim beard, but like I want the tights back. I want the Sami Zayn of old. I want to see like Sami Zayn kick some ass and be a fucking badass wrestler.
And he's capable. We've seen it.
No, definitely, yeah. And I want to see the old Sami Zayn return. The one that came out to challenge John Cena for the title at was it Toronto?
Don't remember, but okay, yes.
US title, open challenge.
The one that fought Shinsuke Nakamura in NXT. Speaking of Shinsuke Nakamura,
what? That's a segue. Jey Uso defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. So back to Sami Zayn. Okay. Eventually, Jey did hit Nakamura with a super kick and a spear, pinfall, and win. So
it really sucks for Shinsuke nowadays, man. He has his really good gimmick. Finally, he's doing some really cool stuff backstage, only to lose every single week against everyone.
But he's like doing the same thing to every person. He's like, Cody, I will be your American nightmare. Oh, Jey, I'm gonna be your nightmare. What next? He's gonna be like, oh, Otis, I'm gonna be your nightmare.
Otis, I'm gonna be your night terror.
Yeah, Otis, you're gonna have to do cardio this week. Ooh. And honestly, knowing that Otis is a power lifter, that probably does scare him. It scares me.
I lose both of this.
Yeah, so I mean, Nakamura, he's great, and like whatever. The guy only wants to be there to like surf and was it eat like donuts or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He like loves donuts or some shit. Next up we have the final segments of the night. This is they cut to the back where Rhodes fought off Jimmy and Solo Sikoa, and he was attacked from behind by The Rock. The Rock tossed him and shoved him out of the arena through the exit doors while it was raining outside. The Rock continued to put boots to Rhodes. The Rock yelled into the camera and said shit 2 more times, censored every time, but this guy is just, man, he is taking it to the limit with the cursing.
Oh yeah, he dropped the F-bomb too, right?
I believe at one point, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rock tossed Rhodes into the side of his travel bus, and Rhodes came up bleeding. That's when Rock wiped his blood into the white weightlifting belt, and that read Mama Rhodes on it. Rock held Rhodes' bloody face into the camera and told Mama Rhodes to look back. To look at her baby boy. Rock, sorry, just got a text message. Rock said Dusty spoke about hard times, and Cody was about to know all about hard times. He says,
"Callback.
This is what happens when you fuck with the final boss." The Rock shoved Rhodes into the bus one more time and kneeled over Cody's lifeless body.
Ooh, he even spit at him. He missed, and I'm glad he did, but that was gross.
Yeah, to me, he's totally. Him and Cody are definitely not working together anymore. Like, this is for a second there, because when I first watched Raw, I was like half sleeping, half waking up, kind of going in and out. And I was like, I opened my eyes and I see Cody's bleeding, and The Rock like gingerly throws Cody into the tour bus. And I was like, oh yeah, he's working with him. But after rewatching the whole thing, nah, man, there's no way. After all of this, it's not like he's gonna be like, yeah, I let you kick my ass and made me bleed, and you called out my mom, and you did this and did that, but it's all good because we got Roman, right? No, this is gonna be more of a Rock and Roman are gonna separate, but Rock is still gonna have a hard on for Cody and still want to kick Cody's ass afterwards, because he's gonna say something like, that's fine if you were going after him, but you made things personal between you and I. So now I'm coming for you this SummerSlam for that title. And Rock Cody.
And we finally get a legit 100% heel Rock. Get some fucking heat.
Yeah. Although, I don't know about Rock. Rock with his Versace stuff, it doesn't, I don't like it. Like, it's not even like, I don't like it, he's a heel, you're supposed to make me not like it. But like, he's standing next to Roman Reigns, who Roman does look like $1 million, but he also looks like he's comfy. He also looks like he's got the best sports gear on.
That's the way to put it. Yeah.
He has the best sports gear on. Like, he's paying like $100 something for that track jacket, $700 for those shoes. Customized.
Those J's are special.
Exactly.
J's. Yeah.
And then Jay is the same way. Solo, I mean, he has like a gimmick shorts, but Solo dresses the same way. And then you got The Rock, who is like wearing like Versace stuff, and it just doesn't fit, unless he's actually the head of the table. Yeah.
And he does that, this stuff. Wait, we are the ones. Wait. We still don't know if that's grandpa shit or if that's, screw you, I'm the head of table stuff.
I don't know, man. Like, I guess I don't know. I feel like they haven't hinted at any of that. Like,
it's a hint because people are talking about it. We're talking about it. You know what else people are talking about is the production truck. Have you heard about this?
No.
There are videos of production trucks traveling in and out of the different towns, and they all highlight current roster members. This production truck in the background, while Rock was beating up on Cody, had specifically John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So the talk is that Stone Cold is going to come out and help out.
Well, apparently, yes, there is. Oh, you mean for the main event? Okay, I could definitely see that. Especially if it's some sort of bloodline rules thing, and they say Seth banned from ringside, Jay banned from ringside, Jimmy, you get down here, Solo, get down here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then all of a sudden Stone Cold comes out for a stunner. I mean, kind of cool.
Yeah.
At least to be a foil for The Rock, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Special
you know,
timekeeper Solo.
I want him to sing the national anthem, just like The Rock said.
America the Beautiful.
I've seen a couple of interviews with Solo Sikoa, and he seems like a genuinely cool dude. Like
I'm
he's
sure.
quiet, but he's got like a wife, and I believe he has a couple kids. Seems like an average dude, you know, very quiet though.
Yeah.
Anyways, that about does it here for us at City Wrestling Radio. We're gonna be back to you again, like I said, later this week with a special retro review, WrestleMania 10. So don't miss out on that. And the best way, literally, it's the easiest way to be notified if we have a new episode. Follow us on YouTube and click the bell down at the bottom, because it'll let you know when we have a brand new episode. Also, follow us on social media at City Wrestling Radio on Instagram and Facebook, and at CWR415 on X. So until next time, I'm Corey Smith.
I am Jose Osigara.
And we will see you next time. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.